You know, of course, getting into this topic, it is very apparent that a lot of confusion is being had currently because of all of these half-truths being disseminated into the public on both sides, Kendrick's side and Drake's side. Now, I know y'all don't think there's a Kendrick and Drake side, but if you come to the internet, they are beefing like Bloods and Crips. I mean, what was the pop-out show even for? Anyways, so that being said, there's a lot of people who's out here telling half-truths to sway the public, right? So essentially, I have the entire document up right now. We're getting into Drake and him dropping the iHeart side of who he's going at in the lawsuit. So technically, you know, to put it in layman's terms, Drake and iHeart reached a settlement satisfactory to both sides, and Drake withdrew the petition as to iHeartMedia. Now, that is in the actual document. That is why I pulled this up in full. If you want to learn how to do that, I mean, just subscribe to my Patreon or, you know, a little Google search, even though it's a little difficult to find, but you know, if you do, or you could just follow me on Patreon, you know what I'm saying? Shameless plug. So that being said, basically, the media is covering this one way. I have the entire document in front of me. For hardcore and for casuals, this segment is for you because we are going to get into the biggest discrepancies in the coverage in the actual lawsuit. I'm going to get into the media coverage. Then we're going to get into the lawsuit because literally I read this page by page. Now, there was another lawsuit. I ain't going to lie to you. It was 81 pages. I'm not reading that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this is my job. Hey, I'm not reading 81 pages, buddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? What they think this is, Harry Potter? Anyways, I know Harry Potter's way longer, but y'all got to stick with me. So, as far as this being 26 pages, I was like, you know, let me put my collegian hat on. You know what I'm saying? I do have a dual degree, if y'all didn't know. And so, we're going to go through this well, I already went through it. But basically, I took notes, you know, on each page. So basically, we're going to go from page to page, and I'm going to break it down in a concise fashion. So this will still be a lengthy segment because we're talking about a lot. But the main thing is I want to put the actual lawsuit in front of y'all page by page and let y'all decide on what you want to take out of this. I don't like the whole bias side of things because now that the battle's over, like I've listened back to my coverage of the battle, and man, bro, I was going crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you, like we was at war. But nowadays, you know what I'm saying, I'm paid, Drake paid, Kendrick paid, you know what I mean, we all good now. You know what I'm saying, we done made our money off of the beef. Now it's time to get to the actual truth of the situation, because you know what, I don't care whether Drake loses or wins in this lawsuit. The main thing I want to know is the truth. And everybody out here telling half lies is not going to get us to that conclusion, right? So anyways, we're going to start with some of the biggest discrepancies in the lawsuit and actual media coverage. Now, the biggest one, and this is the main one, I'm not going to play the Charlamagne clip because I'm not trying to get clipped by iHeart. I'm not trying to give them any reason to copyright any of my videos. Basically, they came out and was like, there was no payments made. Drake basically took away his petition. What was it? Drake withdrew the petition because, you know, Drake withdrew the petition because he couldn't find anything, right? They was just saying that they gave him the proof. Drake withdrew because he couldn't find anything, and then that's that. But, and that's why, like, I kept reading this off at the beginning. If you look at the bottom of page 1 right here, you know what I'm saying? Analytic Dreamz video on Spotify to see the video along with the audio. Section 1, page 1, footnote 1. Yes, we getting on our lawyer tip. Said it confirms that the settlement did indeed happen, right? But doesn't specify payment details or document contents, creating a very interesting discrepancy as far as the media coverage and the actual lawsuit. They didn't say anything about Drake not receiving no payments. They said Drake and iHeartMedia reached a settlement satisfactory to both sides, and Drake withdrew the petition as to iHeartMedia. This doesn't say anything about no payments being received on either side, right? It literally gives it in layman's terms of they reached a settlement that was satisfactory. That's open to interpretation, right? So iHeart coming out here saying that, oh, Drake couldn't find any proof, that's why he withdrew the petition. Well, obviously right here, it don't say that. It don't say that at all. So that's another one of the biggest things I wanted to point out as far as at the beginning, because we're going to get into media coverage and then we're going to get into the actual lawsuit. But I want to get into some of the biggest questions. So people were asking, did he drop the case? Because if you don't, Drake technically dropped the case against Spotify, but then doubled down on UMG. What is he doing once more? Dropping the petition against iHeart, but is doubling down on UMG. So when it comes to the petition being dropped between iHeartMedia and Spotify, UMG is the ultimate target right now. So Drake's still going at UMG, basically is narrowing down his ultimate lawsuit and his ultimate reason for even filing this lawsuit. It was never about iHeart. It was never about Spotify. It was about using UMG to get certain tools so that now he could try to have a better case to win as far as the defamation lawsuit. Now, with that being said, we don't know what type of bag iHeart gave, or we don't know what type of bag iHeart didn't give him. But one thing is for certain, in the lawsuit, it doesn't say that. If you want to assume, you can assume, but it says once reached a settlement satisfactory to both sides, and Drake withdrew the petition. It says both sides. It doesn't say iHeart dominated him like crazy, gave him proof, and he backed out. He didn't say none of that. You know what I mean? So anyways, let's get to so Drake is technically withdrawing the petition from iHeartMedia. So that is one of the things I want to clear up, because some people is like, oh, he's still suing iHeart. No, he's not. He's suing you. He withdrew iHeart, but in the doubling down of the UMG lawsuit, it still has iHeart in it, because he accuses UMG of payola and promoting Not Like Us through iHeartMedia. But as far as the petition going against iHeartMedia, it doesn't mean that iHeart is just completely out, but he did drop the petition. I know that's very confusing, but like I said, we're going to break this all down. You got to get your favorite snack, favorite beverage, or whatever, and we're going to dissect this. You know what I'm saying? So, and page 7 of this lawsuit, right? Page 7 of this lawsuit literally says that as far page 7 confirms iHeartMedia as a deponent. As far as UMG, as far as iHeartMedia, Drake's accusing UMG solely, and not solely, but for payola and bots, right? But who do they do it through? He says platforms like iHeartMedia, so that's where they come in. So now, when you're saying, where is this at? Thankfully, the TCPA does not permit UMG to impose liability on Drake based solely on itself. And something about, what was iHeart? Oh, here it is, right here. It is likely that the commercial speech, and this is from the lawsuit exactly. It is likely that the commercial speech exception would cover the conduct and statements UMG made to iHeart and others in connection with licensing the song. So right after page, right here, right after page 1 of saying they reached a settlement satisfactory to both, and Drake withdrew the petition, still doesn't mean that iHeart is out of scope of this entire lawsuit. UMG is the big bad of everything, right? I'm not gonna say big bad, right? UMG is the big dog in the music industry. Like I say all the time, because it's the Notorious Mass Effect. So we go over things that affect the mass. And I say time and time again that Universal Music Group is the biggest dog in the music industry. Currently, they have 48% of the entire 100% when it comes to market share, and that's on the low side for UMG. So that should tell you what strong grip they have on the entire. What is that, pause? I don't know. On the entire music, you have artists, The Weeknd, Chappelle, Morgan, Billie Eilish, Gracie Abrams. All of them are near the top. Well, most of them except for Gracie are in the top 10, right? And they're all under UMG. So when it comes to UMG, they're the biggest bad in the music industry as far as their influence. So this lawsuit going at UMG is still going to incorporate people like iHeartMedia. So when they come out like Strongman did and basically say, oh, we're in the clear, Drake couldn't find any proof. That's basically, they reached that was satisfactory to both sides to withdraw the petition. They're still looking into payola through iHeartMedia. And if it's holding any type of weight, any type of confirmation, using payola through iHeartMedia, who's gonna get in trouble? Who do y'all think is gonna get in trouble? Y'all think the judge's gonna be like, you know what? Only UMG gets in trouble. Like, no, everybody that was involved in this operation is going down, buddy. This is a choice. So Aubrey Graham is essentially snitching. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I still hold my sentiment at this being one of the weaker moves in hip hop history. Because if you're going to sue somebody after a rap battle, I don't care. I know you're technically suing over them inflating the numbers, not the actual. you double down on the first lawsuit because it was multiple lawsuits, right? That's why this whole thing. Then you double down on that lawsuit and you put out a defamation lawsuit. I'm like, ain't no way a rapper just put out a defamation lawsuit after losing a rap battle. That is insanity. And this is coming from a Drake fan. So that's how you know. I try to keep it 8 more than 92. So anyways, so when it comes to iHeart, they're still very much in the midst of this lawsuit. Now, one of the that I noticed is that it's not really mentioned this. So that's very interesting. You know, when we're looking at Spotify, you would think they'll have a lot of involvement in this. If you read the entire lawsuit, it's very interesting how you can't really find anything when it comes to Spotify. iHeart is named a bunch. Obviously, UMG is named a bunch of times, but Spotify was never, ever mentioned in the suit, which is... So when he dropped that lawsuit against Spotify, he must have dropped it completely. Because you've seen, as the, you know, that he reached a settlement with iHeart, but in page 7, he's including iHeart's name again. He still has iHeart's name in his mouth. So you know what I'm saying? It's not like he withdrew the petition. Now he's no longer mentioning iHeart. Like he's no longer mentioning Spotify after dropping the lawsuit with them, right? That's why you have to actually research these type of things, because they won't tell you that. They will just tell you blatantly what they want you to know because they think you're sheep. And at the end of the day, that's why this exists, to basically trying to give you the unbiased side. Like, oh, my favorite rapper is Drake. The best rapper I think is Kendrick. You know, I'm at like a, you know, is a dichotomy the right word? I don't think it's like a duality of personalities for me. You know what I'm saying? As far as what I like in music. So, why did I say that? Oh yeah, because Spotify is completely out. iHeart is still being mentioned even after the petition was withdrew. So they still are here. So there was something else I was wanting. They was talking about Drake being done. I think I've already covered that, so I'm not going to do that again. Because a lot of people are using this as like Drake has no proof, which is just... They're talking about how this is just becoming a defamation lawsuit, which, you know, is technically not true. Because Section 1 is focusing a lot on UMG's promotional tactics, not the lyrics. There's a difference suing over the inflation of a record versus suing over the lyrical content of a record. Now, fair. Section 2 of this document, let me just go over here. I'm just going to pull these up. Section 2, page 2, basically notes that Not Like Us attacks Drake's character, but that's after Section 1 of listing out all the reasons why Drake's camp believes UMG is engaging in pay, right? Which payola is just illegal in itself, but right. Now, Section 2 is when they get more into the song's intent to harm Drake and drive consumer hysteria, right? So he is suing for defamation. He is suing also for payola. I don't want that to get lost in translation. People think that the payola lawsuit is out of the window with and iHeart radio petitions being withdrawn, which is just far from the case. Now, when you look at this in totality, Drake still has a strong case. He's just narrowing his focus because now you big fish, everything else falls into place, right? It's like an effect. And audibly, the red button that Drake was wanting to, that he said on For All the Dogs when that came out in 2023, like that. This beef just came out of nowhere because of the Kendrick and rap because of the beef. But if you look at Red Button, which is essentially alluding to this action right here, as far as suing UMG, it was released on the For All the Dogs Deluxe Edition, November 17, 2023. All the way back then, it was beefing. Way before the Future album for Drake engaged in a rap battle with Kendrick. Now, that's the other point, right? Engaging in a rap battle when you're already seemingly not winning the negotiation against UMG. It's very interesting, right? Why would you engage in a rap battle? Because essentially what Kendrick said on Not Like Us, which I still stand by, was very lighthearted. You've seen, like, if you go back to my Like That review, I literally say if this is all Kendrick has, then it's going to be a long day in history. Because what he was saying was not going to cut it. He was basically like, I got to KO all these nines, you're going to see. And when he said on Euphoria, you take it there, I'm taking it further, that's something you don't want to do, right? And then when he said on Not Like Us, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what he was alluding to the entire time. That's what I was talking about the entire time. Not Like Us hard hitting lyrics is why I was saying the Like Us, Like That track, it was not as hard hitting. I feel like he was taking it light. So if Drake would have just took that jab and went on to negotiate with UMG, I don't think people would have. Anyways, something else I was wanting to get into. I think we basically covered all the these are the biggest discrepancies. There's a lot of discrepancies in the media coverage in a lawsuit, but the main thing is knowing that iHeartRadio is still not out of the clear. It's still not water. Spotify's not being mentioned in this lawsuit at all after Drake withdrew the petition. So one could think that clear. He withdrew the petition, but as you see further down in page 7, he still got iHeart's name in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? This man said it is likely that commercial speech exception would cover. Is this the right one? Yeah, it's likely that the commercial speech exception will cover the conduct and statements UMG made to iHeart. I wonder what company that is, right? So anyways, let's get into the media coverage, and then we're going to break this lawsuit down. So the media coverage of this whole entire fiasco, right, is Drake resolves dispute with iHeartRadio, right? And the only reason I'm giving this to you like the way I am, because I want to get into the actual media coverage, and I want to get into the actual lawsuit, just so you can see the biggest differences. Because maybe in the midst of this, breakdown, we'll uncover something that I didn't even catch on the first million read this, right? So essentially, media covered this, basically saying that Drake dropped the case against iHeartRadio, right? Originally filed in November 21st, 2024. And accused Universal Music Group of making covert payments to iHeartRadio to promote Kendrick Lamar's diss track Not Like Us, right? And then January 27, 2025, confirmed that Drake and iHeartRadio amicably resolved the dispute. No payments party. Red flag. No payments were made by either party. That's a page 1. What was I saying before as far as page 1, section 1 or whatever? Again. Yeah, section 1, page 1, footnote 1. Drake and iHeartMedia reached a settlement satisfactory to both sides. That does not say iHeart didn't give him any money, right? So this report that no payments were made by either party, you have no idea. So anyways, they're just assuming. iHeartRadio provided documents showing it did not participate in a pay-to-play scheme. Okay, they're not just going to come out and say I'm guilty. The case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning Drake cannot refile against iHeartRadio. Now, what in actual Michael Jackson? Who is writing these articles? Further down his lawsuit, Drake still has iHeart's name in his mouth about receiving payola. So, it's not dismissed with prejudice. I don't know where. Hold up. Where in the lawsuit? Tell me 1 second. Dismissed with prejudice. Hold up. No, we finna find this. Because, obviously, they're doing their diligence, right? Let me see. Make sure I'm spelling this right. Pre, okay. Judice. Ladies and gentlemen, that is nowhere to be found in this lawsuit. So they just flat out lied. Whoever made this one, they just flat out lied. People saying the case was dismissed with. All we gonna do in society when the big conglomerates, which I pull all these all big conglomerates, if they're just blatantly lying to the mass, no sense. The case, ladies and gentlemen, prejudice is nowhere to be found in this entire lawsuit. And of course, it doesn't say that when it talks about withdrawing the petition. It says they reached a settlement satisfactory to both sides. Back to this. They also said that the defaming lawsuit against UMG. Okay, so Drake's still suing UMG. We got that. Texas. Okay, we got that. Super Bowl halftime controversy. Drake's legal team claims that UMG continued to spread defamatory content at the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. All right, let's go to the document. Super Bowl. Let me see. Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl is nowhere to be found in this entire document. Why are they blatantly lying to the public? I just don't understand. I had to look this up for myself. That's why I was like, why is everybody out here one side lies, other side telling half truths, was basically the same thing, right? Basically, it's what is the actual truth? I was like, you know what is the ultimate source that I could look at to be it's very unbiased and it will lay out what the situation. Let me just look up the entire document, download it, and read it off to the public. Super Bowl is nowhere to be found in this. I don't understand why, and doesn't mention anything about Super Bowl. We literally just typed in the and nothing popped up. That's actually insane. Yeah, I don't know why they're lying like this. If it's maybe they think that people just won't research. I think that's the main thing. if you don't research, or if you just don't care enough to research, I mean, that's fine. That's what platforms like this are made for. But yeah, people just blatantly lying, like people don't have Google, and people don't have like Twitter, not Twitter, yeah, Twitter, and people don't have like AI. Like AI nowadays, like don't even get me started about AI, man. You could pull up all these things and with the upcoming legal actions, they say the pretrial conference for Drake's defamation case is set for April 2nd. So for all the Drake stands out there, mark April 2nd on your calendar. I'm finna do it right now. Because I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be a huge case in history. Because if Drake ends up winning, it's gonna be a lot of things that goes down. Because if you don't, this up right quick. Because iHeart has been, say that, let me make sure. All right. Let me see, has this ever happened? Reporting on this. But you got to be specific because, people be throwing lawsuits around here. So, let me see. It's not this probe. Okay. Well, iHeart has not been found guilty of pay. Let's see. Gotta actually research things nowadays. You know what I'm saying? People just be talking. It's crazy. All right. So, UMG. Oh, wow. In 2006, UMG, they settled a payola case involving multiple radio stations, but was never found for a payola violation. So I'm guessing it's not including iHeart. But in 2006, Universal Music Group Recordings Incorporation agreed to pay $12 million to settle a payola case involving. In 2005, Sony, BMG Music Entertainment settled a payola probe for $10 million, which involved payments to radio station employees to feature the art pattern here. In 2007, 4 major radio companies, CBS Radio, Citadel, Mass Effect, Clear Channel, and Intercom, paid a combined $12.5 million in fines for payday practices. In 2010, Univision Radio and Univision Services were fined $1,500,000 each by the FCC and Justice Department and payola. So when it comes to payola and settlements being paid out to make these cases go away, we've seen a pattern and tends to repeat itself. And very interesting that one of the cops accused of payola settled a payola case for $12 million back in 2006. Very interesting. Anyways, let's keep going. I'm pretty sure Drake wants a little bit more than $12 million. But pre-trial conference for Drake's defamation case is set for April 2nd, 2025. April 2nd, I'm literally typing this in. Drake versus UMG starts. Literally. All right. Because I kind of want to watch it. I know they probably won't have cameras. So I think I could probably get a press pass. I ain't gonna lie. As far as the podcast, I don't even know if I don't know. Let me see. Drake for April 2nd. I don't know how long it's gonna go. I guess until, either side or wins. And then I'm gonna remind me a week before and day before. Cool. There we go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you keep track of things. All right, so pretrial conference for Drake's defamation case is set in 2025. UMG requested a delay. I wonder why. But the judge denied them. Not denied. Yeah, man. Yeah, let's just keep reading it. Drake's team accused UMG of stalling discovery exchange of evidence. UMG argued Drake withdrew allegations. Interesting. But his lawyers refused this, stating they only revised 5 out of 237 paragraphs. What in the complaint? Why so specific? Hey, actually, we only revised 5 out of the 237 paragraphs in the complaint. All right, my brother, what about the pages? Like, come on now. What's up with all these paragraph talk? Like, all these paragraphs, we actually keep. So, yeah, that's the coverage, right? Now, finally, into the overall breakdown of the lawsuit. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I read through this. I have all type of notes. And we're going to go through this. And it's not going to be long. Well, maybe long. I don't know. But, just know it's going to be in concise fashion. So if it runs long, just know it could have been way longer because it took me much longer to. It's 26 pages, right? It's a motion for and continuance. Actually, the overall case details is 220, and you can read along with me. So that's why I brought up the entire case. So you don't think I'm one of these fake news type platforms that just blatantly follows one side. I pulled up the entire document so you could read through it and make our own, or come to our own conclusions based on the actual document, the full page document, not the 2 pictures that the ladies and creators. So anyways, 225th Judicial District, Bexar County, Texas, right? Aubrey Graham requests discovery from UMG under the Texas Citizens Participation, that's the TCPA, and a continuance of the TCPA hearing set for March 24th, 2025. Continuance of that's another date. I'm about to write this date down. All right, so we have winner. So we have continue through what's TCPA. So write down these dates, you know what I'm saying? March 24th. All right. Yep. Yes. Yep. Repeat. No, not repeat. Let me see. Alert. Let's just do a day before for that one. I don't say significant. So we already know he's suing UMG, right? We talked about the TCPA. Yep. This is pages we go. Make sure I got the full thing for y'all so y'all can read along with me. You know what I'm saying? The FCC's, right, on payola violation support Drake's claim of UMG's illicit practices. Now, if you don't, here we go. All right, what is FCC? All right, cool. The FCC is, right, it is the Federal Communications Commission, which is an independent U.S. government agency responsible for regulating interstate and international communications across now, FCC advisories on payola violations support Drake's claims of UMG's illicit. So he's not alone in this. A related defamation lawsuit against UMG in New York, filed January 15, 2025, overlaps with these allegations. So they're like, we've been wanting to get y'all. And now we got one of the top dogs in music claiming that you're also engaging in payola. Yeah, we finna team. So, page 2, right? And then we come to 3. Page 3 through 8 is talking about discovery, right? Drake is arguing for Drake argued limited discovery under TCP, right? Citing that cases like N. Re. Intellicentric Inc. in 2018 as evidence. UMG's TCPA motion claims actions are protect free speech or exempt commercial speech, but Drake seeks discovery to refute this, alleging payola and fraud, right? So that's basically pages 3 through 8, and that's the overall summary of this, because in general, y'all don't want me to just sit here and read off the whole document, so I'm giving you the overall summary, because I already went through this in depth to like see the more important parts. So page 9 through 10, right? Drake requests a 4-hour deposition and documents from UMG on their promotion strategy, agreements, and financials. What does it say that? Yeah, okay. And financials related to Not Like Us in Texas to assess TC applicability. 4-hour deposition. This is I think this is the juiciest part of the entire document, because like I said, in section 1, it focused on discovery. What are we mainly talking about? Discovery, payola, things of that nature. They haven't brought up Not Like Us lyrics once, right? They're just talking about the efforts in the promotion to boost it above whatever he thought he was putting out at that time, right? So essentially, this is mainly focusing on payola, bots, pay for play type tactics, and of course, he wants discovery in the form of a 4-hour deposition and documents from UMG on the promotion strategy and financials related to Not Like Us. And so that's basically what 9 and 10 is about, right? Page 10, let me see, to pages 10, and then Drake is seeking to delay hearing. So he wants to delay that's weird. So they're saying to delay the case. Drake is seeking to delay the TCPA hearing, which I remember 25th, right? And let me see. Oh, it says right here. This is TCPA motion for a hearing on March 24th. Yeah, that's the one I wrote down. So Drake is asking the court to the hearing. So I don't know why this is the opposite. Drake to delay the hearing to complete I don't know what that means. The document says that he's asking the court to continue. So I don't know why they're saying delay. Why are they saying? UMG noticed its TCPA motion for hearing on March 24th. Drake therefore asked the court to hearing on that motion pursuant. Pursuant. I think that's how you say it. Until discovery can be completed. So maybe he is delaying it. I don't know what pursue. Let me see. You looking this up on the spot. Pursuant definition, please. Accordance with the law. Oh, okay. Drake therefore asked